episode of The Wellness Way. Today, we are diving into a beautiful topic near and dear
Mhm.
to my heart for sure. And it totally can have an extraordinary impact on the way we allow life to happen. Angels among us. And
Yeah,
this is my favorite topic because I believe that angels are our greatest resources for living a fulfilling, heart filled, purposeful life. Hi,
absolutely.
I'm Susan Flerchinger, your vibrant energy engineer. And alongside me is Jennifer Farrar, my wonderful co host and fellow energy healer. And together we explore how our inner world shapes our physical, mental, and emotional life. And we're going to share these insights from our experience
Mhm.
in energy healing and offer practical exercises to help you harness that power of positive energy. Again, I'm Susan Flerchinger, and I help entrepreneurs create pain free, up leveled, vibrant energy and truly step into the extraordinary calling and soar into their business with success. Jennifer?
Hey, my name is Jennifer Farrar. Healing Peace Within is my business, and I am your remover of obstacles. All of those things that say, no, I can't have, I'm not worthy, things just don't work out. All of those beliefs, all of those traumas, those heart wounds, I help you remove them so that you can create, not only create, but actualize your business, whether it's a business or your life. And I help you turn wherever there's a no into a yes so that you can create and actualize your best life or your best business and just have a joy filled life. So that's what I get to do. So today, we're just going to do a little brief recap of what our last episode was, which was beliefs and emotions. And if you recall, hopefully you watched the last episode, that our deeply held beliefs, those that are ingrained upon us, mostly as children, they affect how we allow our lives to unfold. Whether that's your business, that's your life, that's your family, all of that is affected by what's going on deeply in your subconscious and what your subconscious is allowing you to have, be, do, or have. So, those also, your negative beliefs or your limiting beliefs and your emotions that we assign as negative, they can affect your physical life. Not only your physical life, but your emotional life, your spiritual life, everything. So, the other thing is that we talked about is the role of self-awareness. Bringing all of those emotions and limiting beliefs to the surface so that they can be released. And as the exercises that we did in our last episode, you can release those in a loving, kind, and easy way. So, the other thing is we want to help you address that, acknowledge those feelings, acknowledge those limiting beliefs, and process through them and honor the way you feel. Because most of us will go, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't. And what I tell my clients is don't shit all over yourself. Just allow yourself to
Mhm.
acknowledge, express, and feel them. So notice that when you do feel something like that, or you do believe something that's limiting you, just know that's a guide. That's telling you that something needs to shift and change. And once you do that, amazing things can happen. Amazing things can happen in your
Thank
life.
you for sharing that. And each week we really are helping you with these interesting facets about energy in our bodies and our minds and our spirits to support you in your wellness.
Mhm.
And so thank you for for sharing that great topic that we had. Okay, for this week, again, Angels Among Us is our episode this time. And so I just want to start with we all have angels that watch over us. They are God given, beautiful heavenly supports
Mhm.
that are watching over us, they're supporting us. We each are given and assigned guardian angels when at the beginning of our lives, and they are truly always here to help us. And because we are not meant to walk this journey alone, we are given guidance, we're given support, we're given love. We truly are given all that we need in our lives to have a beautiful life. And the angels are here as, again, I call them our greatest resource to be able to step in and support us. We are able to get this help, and the angels are waiting. They're waiting to help us. You don't have to be worthy, you don't have to have earned it, you don't have to have been or done anything. They are truly there in support no matter what, whenever you ask. They do have limitations, though. They cannot support, they cannot just step in and do whatever. They can't decide things for you. You have to be asked for their help, and you have to take that time to do that asking. They can step in if there's some mortal danger that wasn't expected. Your guardian angel can step in and support you in that, but everything else you do have to ask for their help. And part of what we're going to be doing in here today is giving a little understanding of how and why to ask for that help. And there's things to look for and signs and symbols and ways to notice how they're helping you. But the key is they are always there. And the first step is to believe and know that they are there. And the next step is to ask. They can't interfere with our free will, so we have to be able to take that step. And I know that I have been working with the angels since I was little, but much more often as I've gotten into the energy healing role that I play, I've really taken to heart that I am just a conduit of divine flow and service. And the angels are there to just really ask, and they're doing all the work. And I've really spent a lot more time engaging with them. And by doing that, oh my gosh, the amazingness, I would say miraculous experience that have happened truly do happen. We'll leave this little part with, again, angels, they're messengers from God, from your higher self, and they will give you support. They'll give you answers to questions. They'll give you guidance and assistance when you ask, and they are here. Now, Jennifer, what thoughts do you have?
I loved what you said about that it's miraculous. And you and I, later on in the episode, are going to tell you some of our miraculous things that have happened when we've asked for assistance. And I can't wait to tell you those things. So you can enhance your awareness and your connection with your angels through some simple steps that we're going to teach you later on in the episode. Here's the thing. Here's the trick about working with angels is that you can't place a judgment on how their help is going to show up. That is like a surefire in any manifestation and anything that you are trying to manifest. It's going to show up how it shows up, how the universe, God, creator is going to bring it to you. And that's the same thing with angels. If you say to your angels, I want you to do this, and this is
Right
how I
now,
want you
yes.
to do it, not going to happen. You have to allow, be in allowance for the assistance, for their help to come into your life. And you have to let go of that control, because then if you don't, you're just hampering them. And you're not allowing the full expression of the divine to help you. So stay tuned for the rest of the episode because we have some wonderful tips for you and a great exercise to teach you how to connect with your angels. Susan, I know, oh, that's you. I know you have some direct experiences with angels that I would love to hear. I'm going to tell you first. I'm going to tell you
Yes.
first my travel story, because it represents one of my best angel stories. A couple of years ago, I flew and I was flying by myself, and I don't like to fly. I was taking a class in Idaho, and the trip there was fine. The whole week before, because I hadn't decided I was going to take the class until a week before. So the whole week before, I'm like, okay, travel angels. And I called upon every single travel angel that would help me. I need a I need everything to go smoothly. I need to make all my connections because it was a last minute flight. So I had to do some dancing around with my connections. I need to find a place to stay. Hadn't even worked that out. And I need you, please help me. And every day I'm like, thank you for helping me. Show them gratitude. Thank you for helping me make this a simple travel because I had never traveled by myself before in that way. And the trip there, oh my gosh, everything, clockwork, bing. Made all my connections. Everything was great. Found a place to stay that was within my budget. The class was outside of the town that I was in, but they had a bus. So everything just worked out beautifully. On my way home, it was a different story because it was a Memorial Day. I get on the plane and like within minutes of everybody sitting down and getting all settled in, the pilot comes over and says they have an issue with the plane and that we have to wait 45 minutes because the mechanic is off for the day and he has to travel in. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, travel angels, I have a connecting flight in Denver. Please let me make that connecting flight. And literally 2 minutes later, the pilot comes back on, don't worry about your connecting flight because there's weather in Denver and they've closed down the airport. And it's going to be about 45 minutes before the storm moves through. So I'm like, oh, thank you, travel agents. So we get there. We're actually early because we had a tailwind and there's no ground crew to let us deplane. And the pilot gets on, we have another issue. I'm like, okay, travel angels, please help me. I want to make my connecting. You said everything was going to be okay. Okay, I'm just turning it over. I'm giving it over to God. I'm giving it over to you. You're going to work it out. So this is the first time I ever flew first class. So he goes, the co-pilot is going to deplane. And when we're like, wait a minute, there are no steps. He jumped off the plane and rounded up a ground crew. And then as we're deplaning, the pilot goes, everyone who has connections, you need to leave first. Everyone else sit down. So what you saw was just half the plane sit down. He goes, I have called all of your connections and said, ask for the plane to be held. And then when we're getting off of the plane and into the concourse, they have two incredible angels in the form of employees. They're like, hand me your ticket. We still had paper tickets. Hand me your ticket. Show me your ticket. And they were directing everybody to the concourse that they needed to be on. And I'm like, okay, I'm still not trusting. I was like, okay, everything's working out, but I have trust issues. So I'm like running down the concourse and I'm not a big runner. And I get to my plane and everybody's waiting. And I'm like, why is everybody waiting? I should be like the last person to get on this plane. And another person in line said, oh, there is a mechanical issue. So we just had to wait. So I'm like, okay, I should have trusted you, angels. Okay, thank you. And I just said thank you again.
You get
And
mm.
and I made my trip home. I was actually on time. My husband was waiting for me to pick me up from the airport and everything was fine.
I
I know.
love, love, love that. And I'm just gonna have to share my travel story now because
Okay.
it totally fits with this. And I have literally learned to. I hired my an angel team because I travel quite a bit and I so often call upon angels. So I was told that I could just hire my travel angels. So they're always the ones that with me. They're always the ones that help me with my prep. And so I have just this personal relationship now that I can talk to them, ask them if there's something that I need to be doing, put my support out for an amazing trip. And so we were going to Europe for a month
Wow.
this last year. And so there's a lot of travel logistics going on. And I
Mhm.
just put it out there. I don't want to have to worry about the travel pieces. We just want to go over there. We want to have a great time. We want to be able to explore what we're doing. And if you could just take care of all of that would be fabulous. And my two special travel angels were absolutely right on board, right on with it, and just taking care of everything. And at the very beginning of our trip, this is just totally unheard of in these days. Get on the plane and we go to our seat, and there's a little note on my seat, and it was from the Delta crew And it said, Mr. and Mrs. Flershinger, Delta is so happy to have such amazing passengers like you. Thank you for flying with us. Have an amazing trip to France. You deserve it.
Oh,
Who gets a message like that? And literally,
wow.
yeah, divinely angel orchestrated. And we could not have had a better trip. Better everything was just so supportive. The crew, the everything. I don't know. It was just truly, truly miraculous. And we
And
got to ask. I took the time in advance to ask for that support, help with all of the logistics. And when we do that, it truly turns out better than we could ever imagine. Just like you said, Jennifer, we don't put control on how things work out. We just put it out there, please help.
mhm.
So just an affirmation of that the miracles that happen when we ask.
And as I was thinking about what you were saying, is and both of us had said gratitude. It's like gratitude
Yes.
is the payment for their assistance. I mean, I the all the way home, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank
Probably
you,
people
thank
thought
you.
I was weird because I was saying it out loud. Thank you for
Oh, always
thank you
saying it
for
out
the
loud.
help. I
Yes.
made it home. Everything was fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
true,
wouldn't have
true
been.
gratitude. That
Yep.
is the payment. You are absolutely right.
Yep. So I have a question because actually more of a statement. So increasing your present moment awareness. I'm going to ask you what you mean by that. So that's my question. And you told me by increasing your present moment awareness, that's the best way of noticing their assistance and how they're helping you. So the other question too is, can you share some of the signs that an angel is helping you or an angel is around you?
Oh, great. Yes, Jennifer, I'm happy to share. So part of it is us being in a present state. So, we're not thinking and worried about the past. We're not thinking and worry about the future.
Oh,
We're
okay.
in this present moment, grounded in this present moment, and asking to be in that belief of the angels and knowing that they are real and true and helping us in this presence, and that we believe and know that they are here to help us. And so I'm not sitting there going, I wonder if that's true that there's an angel and would they even want to help me with something like this? So I'm well past that state because I say, yes, I believe that you are there. I know that you are gifts from God for us. So I just put myself into that, like we talked in earlier episodes, that taking that breath, getting me into a state of where I'm open and aware and present when I ask for help, so that after that, this leads right into this next second question you asked, that you can be noticing the signs that the way that the angels can share with us, because they can't pop up as a winged angel right in front of us and say, okay, yeah, what do you need? It's much more subtle than that. Now there are cases where something serious is going on and you need help, and angels in the form of angels and angels in the form of people. That does happen, but more often than not, there's other signs that the angels use to communicate with us. And so they're just hints and clues and nudgings to put us in the direction of being supportive. Just kind of share what we know about those, but they are signs that say, I'm here, I am willing to help. Feathers are really a very common one. And they can be different colors, but I what I found is that white feathers that show up as you're walking, or I'll just say in my experience when I was dealing with an issue and I just didn't know what decision to make. I have found in my house, like it wasn't there before, but I was walking down the hallway and there was this white feather. He was about that big right in the hallway as I was toiling in my head what to do about the situation. And this white feather showed up. Now I know it
How did it
for
get
some
there?
people, it shows up outside more often. They show up in my house, and it's okay. Stop. Say, all right. You're the angels that you're here to help me. Okay. Let me ask my question. And so or sometimes it was like, oh, is this the right way to go? And that'll show up and it's, yes, that's the right way to go. So that's just oddly more common than not sign. And maybe it's just easier to put that sign out there than others, but that's just a very interesting and amazing angel sign that they're here helping us. I'll say another one is that a lot of people do see and is clouds in the sky that they do look like an angel. And I have a friend that when her father had passed, she just was feeling down about that and just wanted to have some uplifting support that her dad had passed and crossed over and that things were going to be okay. And whenever she was in that kind of state of just in concern of what was going on, truly almost always a cloud that looked like an angel showed up.
That is
Either
amazing.
that or in the path where she was walking, because she walked a lot, a heart-shaped rock.
Oh,
And so that's just another symbol it's truly right when you need it, you're given a sign that you are being supported and that things are gonna be okay and that you are being directed on a pathway that helps you be at peace with what's going on.
what about the numbers? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh gosh, yes. That's probably the biggest that's the one that I use all the time.
Me too.
So I offer as part of my Form to Soar business, and it's a Facebook group right now that I do this on, but I offer messages from the angels because I've practiced so much and learned so much of how to work with the angels that I can receive and talk to them pretty regularly and openly and actively. And one way that's easiest for most people is to be able to see numbers. And that is an easy way for angels to communicate with us. So maybe a number will show up on your clock, or you'll be seeing, especially multiple numbers, of 1111, 222, where you have multiple of the same number in a row is a very easy and regular way for angels to be able to say, "Oh, take note what's going on right now," either a confirmation to a question that you were asking, or just to be aware for a moment of what's going on here in the next 24 hours or the next 5 minutes, that you're on the right path and I'm helping direct you. And these angel numbers, there's been a lot of almost research, but people that have given messages tied to certain numbers. So not necessarily the 111, a whole bunch of different numbers. And so part of that weekly messages are I'll just ask, take a breath. What's the first number that comes to your mind? And it always pops in, and then I can read what's that message for today. It's just a way to get personal. Sometimes there are things that would be advantageous to do. Sometimes there are affirmations that your angels are helping you in a certain area, but they're really almost always spot on with where you're at and what that message that you receive. So I love being able to share the angels in with those messages in that way.
And one of the things that I love about how angels communicate is through scent. And there's such a myriad of scents out there. And you'll notice angels. I notice a lot of flowers. Ylang is one of my flowers. I'm not sure if I pronounce that, but it's a base of one of my favorite Chanel number 5. That's my favorite perfume. So I'll smell Chanel number 5 and go, oh, and I'm like, realize I didn't put any on today. And oh, okay, an angel's around me. A lot of so if you notice you're smelling your favorite flower, and we're heading into fall, and I'm in the Midwest, so not a whole lot of flowers anymore, other than fall flowers, but not a lot of that kind of scent. So that's more than likely an angel is around you, either trying to get your attention or you have asked for something and they're saying, yes, I am here and I am helping. So the other thing is, I have a client whose father in law passed away and they were super close and he smoked pipes. So whenever she's down, she calls on him and to comfort because he always did that in his living life and he smoked pipes. So whenever she's down and calls on him, she'll smell his pipe smoke. So she knows he's around. And that gives her comfort and
Mhm.
that helps lift her spirit because he knows now, even though he's crossed over and no longer living, he's still with her. So
Yeah.
the other thing is, now I've not heard about these. Tell us about babies and pets. This is new to me.
It's fascinating because they don't have a filter of, "Oh, I should or shouldn't see this, or I can't see this." They can just sense those presences, and where most kids and adults even just are not open to receiving that support. And I was working with a gal, and I was working over the phone with her, and her baby was there near her, and we were working on something for the mom. And I always call in angelic support. So, like for physical things, I call in Archangel Raphael because he's God's healer. He's the divine physician, and I always call in Archangel Raphael when I'm working with anybody. And we were doing some work, and I said I was calling him in to help us, and she said, "My baby is just staring in this corner over here." Just tuned into that, and it's, oh, yeah, they can sense when the angels are around and know that there's something good going on. And so it just really just kept her eyes focused on that area as we were working. And it was just such a beautiful affirmation. That support was truly there. But animals can do the same thing. They can sense those unseen presences. They can feel that support, and they literally will stare knowing that there is that being and that presence there when we can't see it. So it's
I before you go on to the next one, I just realized that one of my they're both in spirit now, but when my dog Kiyoshi was alive, he was mostly blind. But every now and then I would just see him lift his head, cock his head, and just follow. He couldn't see him physically, but he'd follow with his eyes when an angel was present. I just connected that.
amazing. Anyway, tell us about music because I know we each have stuff about that, but I want you to share the music sign with us.
Oh, because music is universal.
Yes.
Every culture
Mhm.
has some form of music,
Mhm.
and I'll have clients pay attention to the radio if they're listening to the radio, or even if they're watching TV, a certain song will come on, or they'll be listening and catch a certain lyric that gives them information, gives them comfort that they needed to hear. And this is my experience. This is many moons ago. I was just going through a deep depression. I was severely unhappy with where my life was. This was way before I became a healer. And prayed to the angels. I said, I need help. I need assistance. And I'm driving to work. I was in a job I didn't like. I am driving to work and I hear Simon and Garfunkel's song, I Am a Rock. And I'm like, "Oh," and it was the weirdest thing because the depression just I felt it move from the top of my head to my toes as I'm driving, just dissolve.
Ah,
And I
beautiful.
get chill I literally have chills now thinking
Me
about it
too.
because it was like everything brightened up. It's like all of a sudden the color came back into life, and I heard, "You have no reason to be sad anymore." All of that's been healed. That's never happened again, but I had a whole new outlook on life. Nothing really changed outwardly in my life. My attitude towards my life had changed, and the angels helped facilitate that through the use of a song. So, that's what can
As you're
happen.
talking, I just have to share real quick. We were at a wedding here just this summer, and my mom was asking for a song to be played, but the DJ never played it, and it was "Celebrate Good Times."
Yep.
And because the whole energy of the wedding and celebrating life, it just was so powerful for us and for her. And so she was a little disappointed that they didn't play the song, but the next day she got in her car, the radio came on, That was the first song that came on the radio. Just that affirmation that the request was heard, just couldn't be played in
Mhm.
real time, but the angels were on it and helping her just feel the support
She had
of that
asked.
side. She'd asked. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, a couple more here real quick is coins. Sometimes you find a coin on the ground. They are often the signs of that it's associated with someone in heaven or an angel help, but oftentimes it's someone in spirit. Take a look. If you come across that, take a look at a date because I know I this happens all the time when I'm thinking about my dad who had passed. And I'll be thinking about him, and then I'll come across a coin on the ground and I'll pick it up and you look at the date. And because it was deliberately placed in your path, and it is just a clear sign that you're loved and supported. And that date, all the time for me, there's something special about that date with respect to my dad. And so it's just another way to know that we are still supported and our loved ones are still, we can still think about them and feel the joy of knowing that they're there through these kind of signs.
And I love that our loved ones who are no longer with us can become our angels. How cool is that? The other thing is the other symbol, or is actually not actually a symbol, it's a change in pressure. And
Mhm.
like it can become cold, it can become hot, our ears can pop, and you may feel like all lovey-dovey warm energy around you, and it's never uncomfortable. And I'm going to give you an example. When I was a manager at a major retail store, we had storms, it was violent storms, and I heard that there was a tornado towards us, coming towards the mall that I worked in. And I'm like, oh gosh, there's really no good place to go to be safe from a tornado in my store. And so I sat down at my desk and I asked, called to the angels. I said, please keep us safe. That's all I said. Please keep
Yes.
us safe. And
Mhm.
then I felt a tremendous pressure, like a weight, but it was not uncomfortable. And it felt like I couldn't breathe for a minute, but it wasn't scary. It was there. And then I heard on the radio just like 5 minutes later, because I was paying attention, because I'm like, if we need to move, we need to move. The tornado that was in our path had changed direction and we were all safe.
Yes. Oh, wow. And that shiver me up thing, that's some of those sensations because
Hmm.
I call them God bumps. But when you just truly know and that peace, you just know that you are being held and supported and you're safe. You're safe. Ah, oh, man.
Yay!
Oh.
So, do you have an example of that in your healing angels?
Oh, yes. I talked about the baby that was there, but I'll often be working with somebody, and usually this kind of happens when I'm on the phone with them or remotely working on them.
Mhm.
Again, I let them know that their guardian angels are there with them. We call in our healing angels. And in the process of doing that, I'd say more often than not, wherever the areas that we're working on, they can feel an angel presence. They can feel maybe it's holding their arms, being like you're being wrapped around with angel wings, or that just you feel just kind of a light touch or pressure around the area that we're working on, and it gives that beautiful clarity and validation
Mhm.
that they're helping with a sensation that truly is noticeable. And when you feel that presence, just like yours with that comfort of knowing that there was an angel there helping you,
Oh, yeah.
they believe that they are, and that they're answered prayers, answered questions, answered support, that they're right there. They are right there helping, and it's palpable. You can feel it. Whenever I go to the library, if there's something that I need to learn, literally a book will like almost fall off the shelf,
Yep.
and I don't necessarily have to buy it or get it, but it's okay. There's something you need to know in here, and I'll just like turn right to the page I need to know. I'll read what I need to read and put the book back up. But it's like They pushed it right off the shelf for me because there was something I
Yep,
needed to learn.
that's happened to me too.
Isn't that just, you just gotta love it. You gotta love
So,
it.
what other signs? I think we have one more.
Yeah, last is just kind of signs and advertisements that you see as you're driving around that are on a billboard, on a car, or on the side of a wall, kind
Mhm.
of anything. Again, if you are toiling with some questions in your head or there's something that you need some insight on, those will, if you're open to looking for those kind of signs, it's often the case that those words or a set of words or a set of numbers will show up in answer to that question, or that, yep, we're on it, we're helping you with this. There was I was driving along and I was like, God, how am I going to solve this problem? And literally on the back of this car, it said, Jesus is here. It just, anyway, that happens more often than not, but just know those are great signs and you get to be aware that you are being helped all the time.
Awesome. It just amazes me how different and how varied the messages come if you're open and aware and willing to see and willing to look and willing to have them come in the way they need to come in. I know we're running out of time, but you have a great angel firefighter story that I want our viewers to hear.
Yes. So I actively get help from angels. And this time of year, there has been year after year a lot of fires in our area. And so at the beginning of the summer this year, I said, I'd like to hire a team of angel firefighters that can help prevent fires more regularly and can also clean up if there's one, distinguish the fires quickly, clear the particulates. So I make a request. I've made that request throughout the summer. And it was like 2 weeks ago, there was a fire plume just probably not even 20 miles out from our house, and I could see it. And so I immediately called on my angel firefighters and I said, please extinguish that fire, clean up the particulate. And God, a couple hours, maybe you could tell everything was diffusing, everything was going away. And by the end of that day, the air was clear. There was no particulate. And so I know that they were on the job helping do this. And so that's the other thing. We can ask for helpers, teams to come in and do bigger issues. They don't have to be just with something that we have in our bodies or whatever. It's much more widespread. We can help in bigger areas by calling on angels to help in those areas.
So just briefly, what are the some simple steps to receiving your angel messages?
You pretty much noted it, but ask, receive, and give thanks. And the ask can be really simple. It's just form of a prayer or question. It's just ask. It can be as simple as, angels, please help me. You can say it in your mind, you can think it, and don't be afraid to ask for anything. You can ask big because they are there to help. But the key really is the receiving of
Mm.
that insight. So, how do you receive? We've talked about it already. You are open to receiving an answer, and then you're on the lookout. You're looking for an answer to
Synchronicity.
appear in any of those signs that we were talking about, in any form, without an exact form, but you know that you're open, and so it will show up. If you ask a question, just like I was talking about the angel messages, it's the first thought or experience that comes into
Mhm.
your mind when you ask a question. That is the answer. That's your intuitive insight, your angelic insight, the divine insight. It just shows up right there. And just knowing that all of our guidance shows up, and it can be in synchronicities, it can be just funny incidents that happen. It's because that's being orchestrated. It's being orchestrated for you to be able to know that bigger, better, more amazing things are happening and that you can just ask, and life really can be miraculously transformed.
And the signs that we gave you earlier are not necessarily all of the signs. We just gave you the most common ones. So
Yes.
know that the angel messages may show up slightly differently for you than they do for us. So it's all
Yes.
wrapped up with you.
I would love for you to run us through an exercise to connect with an angel.
Okay. Are you ready? I
Ready?
love this because this is how I connect with my angels. So
Mhm,
just sit quietly. If you're driving, you please don't do this. Operating heavy machinery, please don't do this. Just sit
mhm.
quietly. Find a place where you can be alone. And his feet on the floor, hands on your knees or on your lap, just so you're comfortable. And take a good deep breath in through the nose. We're going to hold it just for a second and breathe out through the mouth. And as you breathe out through the mouth, just release all the tension of the day. Just let your shoulders drop. Let go of the mind chatter through your breath. We're going to breathe in one more time. Hold and breathe out. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Now imagine, know, or feel an angel sitting in front of you. They are so full of love for you. Feel that love. Drink in their energy. They want to help you, and they are going to communicate to you in a way that you understand. Now politely ask for what you want for what you want to help them with. They want to help you. You need to ask. And it can be anything, big or small. Big or small. It doesn't matter. If you have a pressing issue, problem, I need help with this. I need a solution. A job, I need to find a new job. Ask your job finding angels. I'm having problems at work. Ask for a solution. And just wait for them to acknowledge you. And when they have, thank them for their help. It's going to show up in ways that you understand. Remember, your payment is gratitude. Thank them often. Thank you for helping me with this. Thank you for the solution showing up. All you have to do is trust that they will help you and receive their help. And when you're ready, open your eyes. What did you experience?
I talk with the angels a lot, and but I just love having you walk through that because it just brought a new different feel and light to it. Sometimes outside of the how I normally do it. And I truly, yeah, it's something that I have to resolve by this weekend. It's some things that I have to get done. And it just, we were going wonky. And they basically just said, we've got this and we're going to help you get everything you need done in the best possible way. I just know that's how I received that this time. Some people might not see words, they might not see a shape, they might see, but you might see
Mhm.
colors, you might feel something that are some of that guidance. So just practice with this. And again, totally said it in there. Just trust that angels are they're always loving and kind and supportive. And the messages are always going to come through that way too. And
Absolutely.
just know that's you're asking for help from for your highest and best good, and angels are they're in that form of goodness
Mhm.
from God.
I
Thank
have a
you.
question for you. I know we talk about this a lot. Actually, it's more of a statement than a question. I know you would recommend this as well, is to journal.
Yes.
What was your experience? Write down, what was your experience? This is what I asked for. How did it show up? Because doing that and going back and reading, oh, it did show up and it showed up this way. It's going to, the more you do that, as you said, practice, the more you do that, the easier it becomes to understand how your angels are communicating with you. And it gives you belief. It reinforces
Mhm.
that belief that, yes, they are helping you. And then you have a written record of what they're doing for you. How cool is
Mhm.
that? How cool is that?
Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing that. That just beautiful, beautiful way to help people practice and give clarity. And a lot of
Mhm.
times, yeah, writing down those questions puts it in a clearer form too of what you're wanting help with, so that can be received. So yeah, the writing it down, however you journaling, however it is, but the writing it down part
Mhm.
and even writing down what you noticed and received does allow more of that goodness to show up in the best possible ways.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't thank you, Jennifer, and for taking this time to really help us learn about the angels and the importance of the angels. And I just love being able to share this beautiful practice that I have and support that I know is so true and real and life changing. And so thank you for, yeah, all that you've been able to share with us and for our audience here. And just one last takeaway, you just get yourself, just like this exercise that we did, you get to take the time to experience that through your own work. You can learn about angels in on your own, however you want. You can do these exercises, but truly just be open to asking for their help. Simple as, angels, please help me with whatever that situation is going on. Notice that sign, breathe, and give thanks for
Mhm.
the angel support and their give thanks to yourself too for reaching out for their love and guidance.
One last story because it's so awesome. I had a client who has a special needs niece and she's taking care of her niece. And the helper that came in every day to help get her ready for school, get her dressed, and get her on the bus, decided to up and quit. This was Wednesday. So I get a text from the client saying, "What do I do? I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, I don't know how to help her. And my first thought was to just rearrange my day to go help my client. And because the client's also a good friend. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I have meetings and I have clients and I can't do that. So I literally sat down and okay, I did this whole procedure. We need a solution. I'm like, angels, we need a solution and we need it fast. And I just got told, "We're on it, we're taking care of it," and I literally, again, just had to let it go, just take it over. I don't know what the solution is. I get a text from my client saying, "Hey, my aide didn't decide to quit because the organization that she works for found some more clients in the area that it made it financially feasible for her to stay." And then the organizations were hiring extra help for you. What do you need? And I
Oh,
went,
good.
how does it get any better? Because there was no way I could rearrange that. I could arrange that. I didn't have to rearrange my day or my week to go help my client because I love the niece and everything worked out great.
Oh,
And it
what
was
a
immediate. It
beautiful
was like
and
the next day. So it can
ah,
happen fast.
yes.
It can happen
Oh,
fast.
thank you, thank you. Oh, I loved our stories and that confirmation, and it can happen fast, faster than
Mhm.
we would ever have imagined, for
I
sure,
know.
in ways that
Yep.
we for sure
Yep.
would never have imagined. Share
Last
our
time.
next episode.
This is near and dear to my heart is we're going to teach you and we're going to learn all about the emotional freedom technique and how you can take your own healing and your own emotional well-being and wellness into your own hands. How cool is that?
Can't wait for that. Thank you. Ooh, I'm excited. All right. Thank you all again for joining us. Take a look at our the outro with info there, but go to our QR codes again. We'd love you to connect with us and have just an amazing week and enjoy your time with the angels.
Thank you. Bye.